Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Let us have an in-depth look into England versus Ghana in this World Cup 2026 group stage match, round 2 group stage match, which is taking place in the USA. So England won their first game against Croatia. Ghana won their first game against Panama. So these guys are the guys leading the groups, and it is imperative that both teams win. But only one can win. They can either draw, but only one can win. So let us have a look at some of the key battles that both sides will have to focus on to try and get the advantage. And honestly, just to be honest, we all know England are one of the favorites to win this tournament. Ghana are coming to participate and put up their best front. But in the group stages, I think it is important that Ghana do well and qualify automatically, at least in the second place position. And it is so possible for them if they do a job on England. England, on the other hand, looked absolutely sensational, especially in the second half versus Croatia. So who is going to be taking home the spoils for this group game? Let's have a quick look. Well, let's have a look anyway into how Ghana should be lining up for this game. So in goal, Benjamin Asare, who I don't have a lot of detail on. I've tried to have a look to see how he'll do, but it's one of those things. But he'll have to take inspiration from the Cape Verdean goalkeepers, the Curacao goalkeepers, the Iranian goalkeeper. These guys have been winning man of the match for their performances, keeping out some of the bigger teams. You know what I mean? But Curacao wasn't even like playing against a bigger team. It was one of the most amazing new draws I've ever seen. Absolutely sensational stuff. But this game, England versus Ghana, is a game that we need to take seriously because both these sides, Ghana, one of the biggest giants in African football, England, almost for a long time being in the top 5 of European football. They are now literally just behind France in levels at the end of the day. So let's see how their back four should line up. You've got this guy, Marvin Senaya, who's the right back, and he'll have to do a job of protecting that side. Is it the one going to be protecting Noni? Let us see. That side from, give me a second. Ghana, England. No, he won't be struggling with Noni. He will be trying to protect that side from either Rashford and Anthony Gordon, depending on who starts. We'll talk about that a bit later. So we've got Senaya, and then our left back is Gideon Mensah. He's the one who will have to try and stop Noni Madueke going in behind the back four, as well as making sure he doesn't cut in too easily. So him and the central midfielder, central defender rather, are going to have to work together crazily, because if you let Noni run at you, you know, it creates so much chaos. And after 40 minutes, if he doesn't have that fitness level, he will be absolutely dead by the time Saka comes on for the rest of the match. So central midfield, you've got this Ajete and Jerome Opoku, centrally big, strong, and they gave Panama a torrid time, basically, but they'll have to have their last-ditch defending, you know, on point against England. Central midfield, Caleb Yurenki and Kamaldeen Suleimani, and we expect to see the return of Thomas Partey, who, as the news has captured, was not able to go and play in the Panama match because of the sanctions against him. Basically, there was an issue with his visa. When it came to Canada, they didn't let him in to play in this tournament. So I feel like he is going to be one of the first people on the score sheet to help with the control of that midfield. At the end of the day, you're facing England. You need one of your best midfielders. He's one of the best in the world. It's only the last few years, I think, because of his legal troubles where he has slipped a little bit. But if he can't motivate himself to come and put in a performance in the midfield against one of the players he's played some of the best football with in Declan Rice, then to be honest, he needs to just retire and concentrate on his court cases. Otherwise, I don't want to go into that too much in this game. It's all about analyzing the strengths and weaknesses in both sides. So Thomas Partey probably in midfield. Then you've got Ernest Nuama, Antoine Semenyo, who has been a revelation. He was at, is it Brentford? Or is it Bournemouth? One of the Bs. And now he's at Man City. He changed Man City. You know, like if he and Gay hadn't gone to Man City last season, they would have finished 4th or 5th. They were really struggling, and Semenyo's induction into that team when he went there changed their complete outlook, and they managed to put up a fight, losing 7 points behind Arsenal, but it could have been a bigger margin. They might even have been behind Manchester United if they hadn't brought in Semenyo and Gehi. So very good player. He can play left wing, he can play right wing, he can be central. He is a complete utter menace, and he manages somehow to get in behind. So I am concerned about Ezri Konsa and John Stones in that sort of, back four. He knows Nico O'Reilly very well. He knows Gehi very well, and as well as Jones, because he trains against them. So he has got a leakage in how to get in behind these guys and probably even tell his other striking partners how they should play to get the advantage and highlight weaknesses. But that is obviously common for every team, I guess, that you play against, isn't it? So, but yeah, definitely Antoine Semenyo has got a lot. He's one of the best in the world, isn't he? And then Jordan Ayew. Personally, Jordan Ayew, I can't believe he's still playing for Ghana. So they must be really struggling up front for resources to put up there. But he is going to be playing number 9. So, but yeah, let's see. Maybe he'll score and do us a solid and get the game interesting. But for me, I'm surprised he's still playing. They will probably needed somebody a little more younger, agile, with newer ideas. But it's the leadership he provides. The leadership he provides must be very important for Ghanaian coach to keep him in. Queiroz is not exactly, an idiot. So he knows the value that Jordan Ayew gives to the side, and he is going to be absolutely sure about it. So now, let us have a look at how we expect the England team to line up. Jordan Pickford in goal. He is a shoe-in. We know that. Right back, Reece James for sure. We know we've got Chalobah in the team somewhere. He came the other day, so we've got options in case of injury. Livramento had to leave because of a hamstring. And then Nico O'Reilly on the left back. For me, Nico O'Reilly, I like him. Even playing for Manchester City, he can come in. Not only is he a threat from the right back position, he on set pieces, which England are absolutely good at. We know why. The Arsenal influence, Declan Rice's corners, Saka comes in, corners from, so basically they've got a lot of tools to manipulate and get O'Reilly contributing. Now, the problem comes in the pairing in the centre-back pairing, where you've got Ezri Konsa and John Stones started the Croatia game. So I'm thinking Ezri Konsa or John Stones, you need solidity. You need a lot of solidity in that back four in the game against Ghana, because these guys are strong, they're big, and they're also fast. You've got the strength as well as the pace of Semenyo. You've got Jordan Ayew, who's a little fox in the box. Sometimes he can come in, so he can get in behind. So I don't know how they're going to cope with that, this back four. Do we go for Mark Gehi or John Stones? People have been thinking that Mark Gehi might be better, or Ezri Konsa sit it out. He's not being considered very highly. Play Gehi and John Stones. I don't know. But for me, one of England's biggest weaknesses is that back four position. We are just not very good. We need seriously to get working on getting some good defensive players in big leagues, in bigger teams, so that we can secure that, because the attack looks so good. Let's go into our Double pivot in midfield. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about double pivots now. Come on, guys. I'm an Arsenal fan for the last 30 years. So yeah, is it 30 or 20, 25 years? Let's go 25 years. I'm not that old. Elliot Anderson, a player like Zubamendi, I have got a blind spot. I do not notice players like this, but I love it after the game when people are saying, "Oh, did you see Elliot Anderson's performance?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't see it. I've just got a blind spot, and I've accepted that it is my blind spot." But apparently, he had a great game. I've checked the stats. The guy apparently was so influential and great in the game against Croatia, although I don't know how we considered two then. Okay. Declan Rice, I love Declan Rice. I like because he is always visible. He is always trying to facilitate that attack. His assists, his goal scoring chances as well when he tries to shoot from wherever, from afar outside the box, and also his deliveries from crosses makes him a huge threat to Ghana. And then our attacking midfielders. Hey, guys, let's talk about my best friend, Noni Madueke. I have been defending Noni Madueke from the beginning. This guy won us the Premier League. And when we signed him, Arsenal fans were signing petitions because they didn't want him. Now, you guys like structure. I think you feel safe. You've got that warm hug of like a Saka who just is so deliberate about everything. Even when you know what he's going to do, that thing is going to come off. But sometimes the biggest challenge comes from a team who are organized like Germany, a team who are organized like France. You are not going to, Argentina are not going to let you win the game when you've got deliberateness from Saka. You do well up to the last minute where you're going for. Look at what they did to us against Spain in the Euros, in the final. It's because you're deliberate. There was no threat coming from unexpected places. That is why I love me some Noni Madueke. Now, there's a difference between love, but I adore Saka because I love everything he offers. Noni Madueke, on the other hand, excites me. Because sometimes I'm like, blinking heck, Noni, I defend you. Can you please stop? Don't do that, So I'm always like chiding him, but thinking, do that again. Because by the time he is finished with that defender, he is absolutely, they are tired. Saka will come on as a sub later on because we know he's injured, and that guy will be, it doesn't matter when whether he starts or he finishes the game, he always leaves a mark on the defense that is playing against him because they also don't have a clue what he's going to do. But yeah, honestly, he excites me, and I could talk about Noni Madueke's influence on games all day long. But I'm not, because I know you want to hear about who's going to play on the other wing, on the left wing. Now, in the game against Croatia, we started the guy going to Barcelona. Anthony Gordon played for Newcastle previously. There was a rumor earlier that Arsenal wanted Elliot Anderson and everyone didn't want him. I think it's that whole thing where you need to decide, do you want someone exciting like Noni Madueke, or do you want stayed, predictable quality like Anthony Gordon? Anthony Gordon is just a reverse of Bukayo Saka. Same kind of player. Of course, Bukayo is at a higher standard, different technical abilities, but Anthony Gordon has got some of his own technical abilities that are essential on that left wing. It doesn't provide the crosses in from that wing. Of course, it's really difficult to find a left winger who provides those beautiful crosses. I've seen Rafinha do a decent job, but no one can really compete with Vinicius Jr., can they? In terms of the influence on that left wing. Regardless, it's either Anthony Gordon or Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford has been sensational for Barcelona this season. Absolutely. I didn't know the guy could dribble. He's gone to Barcelona. He's so confident, but also from that wing, the guy can score, he can assist. I feel like we should start Marcus Rashford in this game because I feel like the physicality that is going to happen, especially this Caleb Birenki. We saw him against Panama. You need somebody strong and also decisive. In terms of retention of the ball, I'm not sure how good Marcus Rashford is going to be to try and retain the ball if he loses it, if a dribble doesn't come off. I am not 100% sure. But for me, I feel like Marcus Rashford, if he is fit, should start instead of Anthony Gordon. Anthony can come on as a sub if things are not working. but I feel like it will work. Start Marcus, in my opinion. Midfield, we've been arguing. Hey, we've been arguing since the lineups were provided, and we are looking at is it Jude Bellingham or Morgan Rogers to start in that? Sorry, this curtain. Is it Jude Bellingham or Morgan Rogers to start in this position? Now, the beginning of the Croatia game, guys, we saw a bit of Jude Bellingham's first half was not atrocious, but it was not very convincing in that first half of that game, was it? He came out after the first half and he went and scored a solo goal, beautiful, decisive. He needs to take it seriously. These referees at this tournament are not playing with going down easily, trying to influence the decisions, blah, blah, blah. But Jude Bellingham is the guy. Him or Morgan Rogers. We like Morgan Rogers, but when you are going like basically comparing 50-50 in terms of like, okay, I'm sorry, but Jude Bellingham is going to get 70% of my decision making, 30% to Morgan. But I feel like Jude Bellingham needs to stay in there. His leadership skills as well are good in there. He is like people who are petulant, but they know what they're doing. He's there because I feel like up front we are sorted. Harry Kane, no question about it. But Harry Kane is a quiet leader. He leads by action. He's just going to score you a shitload of goals. Sorry, language. A crazy amount of goals. And then that's it. You're like, oh, captain is doing the job. You know what I mean? But yeah, Jude Bellingham should be in there because he can provide some leadership up front when they're messing about. Declan Rice as well is a leader. Harry Kane up front, we should be able to get a goal from him because sometimes Harry Kane can go quiet and he can be contributing invisibly, but he can go quiet. So for me, I feel like we should be happy with Jude Bellingham starting instead of Morgan Rogers, guys. So that is how they should line up. So the key battles are going to be how Thomas Partey is going to stop the threat from Declan Rice in that midfield and Jude Bellingham because he needs to protect the back four. And then the other battle is going to be Reece James and Elliot Anderson, as well as Ezri Konsa on that right wing, stopping Antoine Semenyo from going in behind them, doing all sorts. The same thing goes for Noni Madueke against this Gideon Mensah. Is he going to be able... The only way to stop Noni going in behind as well is for Kamaldeen Sulemana and Mensah working together to try and make sure that he does not have too much success and that they are on him. The minute he gets the ball, they should not give him enough space to sort of like, check pass kind of thing, check run and kind of thing. So yeah, basically those are some of the key battles we should be looking out for. I feel like defensively that centre back for England is not exactly the best. But then again, up front they've got Jordan Ayew. So come on. If you can't keep that guy quiet, then we don't deserve to win this World Cup, do we? Reece James, one of the best defenders in the world, going against Antoine Semenyo will be hilarious. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But for me, Thomas Partey's influence transitioning the ball, because Thomas Partey, if he can retain possession from Jude Bellingham and then get that ball straight through to Semenyo or to the other two forwards in the game, will be essential. But we saw right the season before when he was playing for Arsenal, he can lose possession. He's not always sharp, so there's also some weaknesses there which they'll be taking advantage of. And I know Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson will be working on how to make sure that the minute Thomas Partey gets possession of the ball, they can pounce on him, get that ball back. But it's going to be a tough ask. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it will be absolutely the reason why we are going to all tune in and watch this game, because this game should be absolute fire on the mountain, guys, 100%. So join us. So in England, kickoff is 9 p.m. But yeah, let me know what your prediction is. And then, of course, if this prediction was up to your taste, do not forget to subscribe to my channel for most of the coverage for some of the games that are going to be happening over the next few days. Subscribe, like, whatever the case, share it. Let's talk now about who is going to win it. I have gone for England to win this match 3-2. I think there'll be some loose careless, silly goals maybe, but I just feel like England will be able to make good changes that are going to destabilize Ghana's momentum. I think they've just got a lot more quality. Opta's computer have given England an 80% chance of winning this match. Well, 81%, and then of course Ghana 19% or 16% or something like that. But we've seen at this World Cup, those Opta statistics are not being taken seriously by anybody. The teams don't know anything about Opta. They're going there and they're playing with their hearts, with passion, which is exactly what I've said previously. All you need at this World Cup in these group stages is bravery, heart, commitment. And that is what I feel like Ghana needs to try and get a result here. But we need to take this seriously because we are professionals. We are professionals, and yeah, England should be able to win this. And if they don't, guys, I'm sorry, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Otherwise, 1 and 2 in the group are coming together, and then it's going to be absolutely exciting. Let me know what you think, though, because I'd like to hear from you. Right, guys, talk soon. Bye bye.